Okay, so basically, you've got a lot of different choices. You can go with a private tutor, small group, large group, blend of groups and private. I have taught all of these at some point. I will tell you right now, private one-on-one tutoring for test prep is the way to go. Okay? It's more expensive, but it is far more effective for most students. And the reason is because this is an individual test. This isn't we're all learning the same thing. These are specific issues I'm having with specific questions, and I need somebody to tell me how to pinpoint those specific issues. And you can't do that when you're teaching class. You can sort of give it back and forth, but to really be most efficient in finding, because that's where the points are. The improvement comes not from what you do know. The improvement is with a tutor being able to pinpoint what you don't know and showing you how to do it. And so otherwise you sit there in a survey course in a big class and you go through everything. Most of the stuff you already know how to do and you're bored. And you get bored and you miss the part where you really needed it because nobody's really drilling down and telling you what your weaknesses and strengths are. And it's also, the tutoring is also really nice because it gets you on a regular schedule every week for this stuff. Yeah, you can go to a class and whatever, but the tutor will really keep you focused and really keep you learning if it's a good tutor, really keep you learning through this and give you a real mental workout through that and really make sure that you're on track and keep going. And it really is the most effective by far in terms of both efficient and effective. And things you want to think about: company, reputation, how long they've been around. I mean, they have a good track record of success. Do they specialize in test prep, or are they just are they a general? You really want people who specialize in test prep. It's not the same as academic tutoring. It really isn't. And you don't want somebody who's like, oh, I teach algebra and language and so on and so forth. And I also do SAT and ACT. You really want somebody who knows these tests and knows what's going on, because there are specific things that aren't necessarily a generalist can do. Is a contract required? Personally, I don't require contracts. It's all pay as you go. But there are a lot of companies that will lock you into a lot of lessons. You got to pay up front and do a lot of lessons. That can be a problem. Also, you're kind of buying in before you really know what's going to happen here. Personally, I don't like to do that. I just basically pay as you go, and most of my students end up staying with me for a lot of students end up staying for the whole year. But finish the program that way. It's a lot easier. Yes, ma'am.
What do you think would be the specific price for a private tutor?
So yeah, if you call around for premium private tutoring, it's $200 an hour. Yeah, and the programs usually are about 20 to 25 hours for an initial program. So I like to stay a little bit under. So I'm $175 an hour, and my initial program, I can get you prep much more efficiently because I just know what I need to do and how to find it. So the basic program for me is around between 12 and 15 hours for that initial program. Like I said, especially now that I just do it by myself, I'm not here to juice you up for a lot of lessons because I don't need to. I don't need that many clients to keep the hours I need, and so I'm happy to work with anybody on whatever their budget is on this. But there are companies that say we want the whole thing up front. This is our program. You're buying into it. Score guarantees. If you don't do well, we guarantee you're going to get 300 points or whatever. It's a gimmick, okay? Because what they do is, I didn't get 300 points. Oh, well, you can take this course again. And it's basically for the classes and everything, but it really is a gimmick. Because if it didn't work the first time, is it really going to help you the second time? If you didn't improve, then, So it really is it's a gimmicky thing. So don't buy into the whole score guarantee thing because it's not going to do anything for you anyway. Okay, so let's talk about the program. Look at the program. Is there a set curriculum? Do they use official practice sets with official questions? We saw those ACT. Really, really important. A lot of these companies are just trying to sell books. They own their own, but they have what I call question drift on this. that sort of just, doesn't really, you don't really get the actual test. They have online materials. I spent the 2 years during COVID. I've built an entire courseware suite for this that we're beta testing with students. It's going really well. We're going to be rolling out the official version, so the sort of public version in the spring. But for right now, all my students have been using it, and it's really been effective. Flexible hours, lead time, longer, more effective. There are companies that'll do like 6 weeks from here to there. You really want more time. It's not about cramming. You can't cram for these tests. What you really do is you want to do it sort of drip, 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 drip all the way along. The longer lead time you have with this, the better you're going to do. And do they do follow-ups? Like, you take the first test first time, okay, see you later. What I recommend is you do initial program first time, and we get the bulk of the lessons out of the way the first time, and then we'll do follow-up lessons, 2 or 3 follow-up lessons before every next test you do, just to polish up and see what we're looking at. Look at the old score reports from your previous tests and really polish up. So you don't need to be doing lessons all the way through all the time, but it is a good idea to get the basics in and then follow up with each successive test you do, and do 2 or 3 lessons for those tests. Get you polished up again, because you forget everything that went on. Okay. Now, instructor. This is really important. This is something that you're not going to get from a lot of the bigger tutoring services. Is that it's an instructor that can do both subjects, or all the subjects, verbal and math. The economics of this basically for most of the large tutoring companies is that they're going to hire grad students. They're not going to pay them very well. They may be of the tutoring dollar, that price I quoted you on for premium tutoring. The tutors probably may see 25% of that of what you're paying. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but depending on the tutor, they don't pay these tutors a lot, and so you have a lot of turnover in this. So you don't really get tutors that are that experienced, or even real teachers from those. Yeah, I did great on my SAT, so now I can teach you, but not really. And just because you did well doesn't mean you can teach it. And so there's a lot of reasons why that's true, but the first one is really important. You really want to see if you can get a tutor that teaches all subjects, because there's always a tension otherwise. There's, I like my verbal tutor better than my math tutor. You shouldn't have the student worrying about that. You shouldn't have the student just enjoying the tutoring what they are. So it's really important.